Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Beyond the Mic with your host, Avery, and we've got Nancy, I would say, back from the dead.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, fair.
So today is actually February 1st. Currently it is 2:25. Can you believe it, though, that we're already in the second month of 2026 already? It's going by so fast. It is going by so fast. I thought it was going to go by slow.
Well, it usually does, and I have the same expectation. Usually, I always call this like the drulls of winter, It's like after all the hullabaloo of the holidays and stuff, and, all the commitments you have to make, and then it's just
Yeah.
like crummy weather, cloudy lots of the time, and just blah, blah, blah. But
Right,
no,
and
I
then
can't believe
I
how
know,
fast.
and it's like Christmas went by. I feel like December went by very slow in a way.
Yeah.
Or I also feel like because I was working a lot, probably.
Yeah.
Funny enough, your boy's unemployed.
Announcement, everyone.
I mean, I've been unemployed for about a month now, going on 2 months on February 22nd. My previous employer, which was Great Wolf Lodge, fired me. They fired me over a false accusation.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well,
So, and I don't even mind kind of throwing them under the bus, really. Because like, yeah, but it was because I think it was more so because like they were already trying to stir up some stuff with me.
why?
Obviously, I know some employers give you that. I don't know. I talk with an old coworker of mine him and I are like pretty good friends. He kind of told me, he's like, yeah, they were just trying to get rid of you. Like they piled up absences of mine. I've only had like 3, which were each 2 points. So that's 2, 4, 6. That's 6 points. It made no sense for me to
That's
have
pretty
16
That's
out of
generous
the 12
compared
points.
to some other employers.
Yeah, because they had
Points wise.
yeah, because their maximum was 12, and according to them, I had 16. They're like, oh, on January 1st, they're gonna fall off. I'm like, okay. So I thought it was that. I signed the like corrective action form within, because this was on December. Actually, I probably broke, I guess, the law. Because normally, and I've seen this done before, where people, I guess, record the conversations in case, like, kind of to have a paper trail, I guess, if something goes wrong. That's what
Yeah,
I did.
don't
I
they have
had
to
it.
tell you that though? This call may be recorded.
Well, it wasn't a call. It was in person, but I didn't want to like mention it, I guess. I was more like, well, that's just me. I didn't mention it because I had it done on my watch. I'm like, I'm gonna do it just to save my butt from getting in
Oh, so
trouble.
you recorded it and you okay.
Yeah. I did it more of like, I guess, secrecy, I guess. So I recorded the 8-minute conversation. And they're like, yeah, so your points will fall off on January 1st, yada yada yada. Just make sure you don't call in by that time. I'm like, okay. Like, obviously, like if I have doctor's appointments and whatnot, I'll request those off in advance. If it's like last minute doctor's appointments, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to do that. No way in hell I'll do that. But they had me sign the corrective action form, but this was like in the middle. Like there's a whole timeline First was a conversation I had with Human Resources on December 5th. Prior to my conversation with my manager, I think that was December. Because there's like 3 different events that took
Now,
place.
wait a second. So is this all related to the absences and the points, or are we going to have
No,
different
there's
types of
it's
things?
3 different like the 3 different separate like incidents, I guess.
Okay, so I'd like you to start from where they liked Avery to where they're kind of like, I'm not sure about that
I
guy.
mean, they liked what I did. They liked when I would show up on time, when I would consistently show up to work. Obviously, I would call in if I needed like a mental health day or if I actually had doctor's appointments.
But when did you feel
Those were
them
the
start gunning for you? You know what I mean? Like where they are documenting and, you know, extra following protocol, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Doing
I
what they
mean, the
doing their
first
thing, doing what they
time,
do.
the first time it was on December 5th mainly
What day of
was
the week
because
is that?
December 5th, that was on let me see, calendar, I'm way too bad. That was on a Friday.
Okay, so a busy time in your line of work.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what
And
happened?
they essentially, I was working in the Build-A-Bear outlet that day. So I was doing Build-A-Bear.
Okay.
They had to have I think the 11 to 3 person come in to kind of cover for me while I went to go speak with HR. Apparently, now I can like say this now since I'm like free from the chain. I don't even want to get rehired there. I don't want to. I hate it. But they called me in. They're like, "Yeah, you were named as a witness for, I guess, quote unquote, like, I guess when people were like accidentally like grazing each other, like accidentally touching each other when passing by, or like not maintaining personal space." And they asked me like, do if I had any memory of that, if I had any acknowledgement of those events, and I clearly told them I didn't, because
That means
that's
you
not
didn't
something.
witness it.
No, I didn't.
If
Because
you
even then,
didn't, if you have no not like if that you could be in the same room.
Mhm.
It could be the room the size of a closet. If my back is turned to you and you make a funny face, just because we were in the same room, like doesn't mean I witnessed it. Do you know what I mean? It's totally based on like, did you observe this? Did any of your senses observe this, whatever? And you clearly didn't. Wow.
No.
Okay, sorry, I
And
interrupted, but I was like, I had to ask because
no, you're good.
that's the
I have a
definition
huge
and
feeling
meaning
I
of
have like a
that.
hangnail on my pinky finger. I have a feeling I have a hangnail and it hurts.
Ugh, I hate those.
I know, and so, but I guess going back to that, so I talked to them. I told them, I kind of explained to them, because I explained to them. So I essentially explained to them. So for example, let's say this space here, just imagine there's a counter. The outlet
Okay.
that I mainly worked in, which is Magi Quest, it's very narrow. It's a narrow counter space because you would have like the cabinet behind you and everything. It would make it so easy for you to bump into somebody when you're carrying a box into the stockroom. The stockroom's even less much of a space. So it's a storage closet. You only have enough for like 2 shelves and that's it. So there's really not much room for you to move around. So if you bump into somebody and things like that, like it's bound to happen. I even explained that to them. But what I also told them was that obviously there's really no way to prevent that, in my opinion. Like, especially in such of a narrow workspace and you're carrying a box, like you can say like, "Hey, like I'm coming behind you," or things like that. Yeah, like you can say that, but it's obviously still gonna occur where you're gonna make contact.
Now, what did they allege that you witnessed 2 other persons have bump, or that you were one of the 2 parties?
They just mentioned, I guess I was a witness to that, I guess, but they never mentioned if it was to another pack member or if I was involved in it. If I was the one committing or
So
not committing
December
the
5th
act,
is the
whatever.
day that they brought you to HR and had this conversation with you. How far prior to that was the incident that they're alleging that you observed?
They didn't really give me any dates. They were just blunt and just telling me, "Oh yeah, like
They didn't
you're
give you
named as a
factual
witness."
information to
Nope.
be
I
able to
have
put it in context to help you remember? Wow.
They didn't give me any of that. I even have all of my documents from them. So my records, conversations with human resources, I have all of that saved because I asked them, send me all of my personnel files. Which they did. They left out the one from the day I got fired. They left that one out, which I'm surprised they didn't send that to me when I asked. But that's like more ahead of the month. Then when I went back up to Build-A-Bear, so after that conversation, they told me like, "Hey, you're free to go while we investigate this." So that same day, I was talking to my coworker. They're like, "Yeah, so and so." I'm not going to say their name because they are underage, but they said so and so is accusing you of making them uncomfortable, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because I even said I've never worked with this person. Like, we're assigned outlets day in and day out, AM and PM shifts or even breakers. You're assigned to a specific outlet. I never once worked with
What
this
is an
person.
outlet? Because I don't know, and other people might likely don't.
Yeah, so no worries though. So outlets are what they call like the stores. So like the Build-A-Bear, the main gift shop. So like all the gift shops and stuff, that's what they call outlets. And like the arcade gift shop and stuff like that. I was more on like the retail and attraction side, so I would work the Magic Quest outlet or the Magic Quest retail store. But periodically, because they would flip everybody around. So if you were certified for both attractions and retail, so you would do, for example, you'd be in the main gift shop or you'd be in Build-A-Bear if you're trained for it and stuff. But good.
Okay, so you aren't an employee of Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Bear is just inside, and
Correct.
the only
It's,
people that can work
so-
it are people that were quote unquote trained the way Build-A-Bear would want their employees or service
Correct.
provided to guests.
Correct. So Great
Okay.
Wolf has a license through Build-A-Bear Workshop to have the logos, the products there at their hotels. Hence why Great Wolf cannot accept any gift cards or promotions from Build-A-Bear corporate-owned stores. They can't accept it because they don't have those with their licensing agreement.
So you went back, and a different coworker gave you more insight than you even got when you had that meeting in HR. And they knew, your colleagues know about this goofy stuff, and you don't even
Correct.
know anything. So there's
That's
all this
'cause that's
gossip
the
and
thing.
chatter.
It's a lot of high school kids. A lot of the managers, they're really, and I mean really, don't know how to do their job for jack. They act like
Well,
high
they're always
schoolers.
hiring on Indeed.
That is true.
When you have a
I
high
use Indeed
turnover.
a lot. They're constantly hiring for retail attendants, supervisors, housekeeping, and I'm like, dude, no one wants to work there, especially with like a lawsuit that they were involved in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no
don't
one
know
wants
about
to work
that,
there.
but what I know is when there's a high turnover somewhere, I mean, there's a bigger business, you're going to have bigger ratio, but it's going to be within a certain range, like a healthy turnover rate. When it exceeds and it goes high, that tells you something. And I think I'm putting myself on the do not hire list, and I'm not even applying. Oops.
I mean,
Avery, you're trouble.
who would want they're okay, like the resorts, great. Staff in certain locations, great. But like the environment as a work culture, terrible. They're gonna backstab you. And I've seen that firsthand. Like for me, I was one to always pick up shifts, pick up doubles, like do work double shifts. I would stay later, but I started to slowly decline those requests because especially on days off when they're like, yeah, can you come in? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I just want to take the time for myself. They'll be like, oh, it's okay.
When it comes to
But yeah,
corporations, they will give they will take everything you are willing to give them and then some.
Right,
Anything
because
you
that's
are
how.
willing or have offered in the past, they will take it and then expect it. But yeah, yep,
Because
sucks.
that's like when I first talked to my mom when I first got fired, she's like, "Yeah, that's why you don't let people take advantage of you from your taking double shifts, offering to stay later." And I'm like, "I know, but I also was more looking out because of the gain, like financial gain from it, like me like making more money and stuff like
That
that
well,
at the end
yeah,
of my
that's it.
paycheck."
That's fair.
Like that's what I was more focused on. I know when I got talked to by that coworker and she's like, "Yeah, like so and so is making rumors about you." And I'm like, "You're kidding," because obviously one, I know the person's underage. Two, I know obviously since we don't work together, we don't talk. There's no way in hell I would make them uncomfortable when we don't interact. Like
So
we're not
so
working in the same store or anything.
so are you saying so as far as like working together and the fact that you said that you had never worked with that person ever, that just means like in the same like, you know,
Correct, in the same, like, store or anything like that. We never worked in the
okay,
same store. We would see each other passing, or we would see each other at the team meetings, but that's it. Like,
okay.
I would exchange a hello, and that's it, and, like, small talk, but that's it. I would engage in that, but nothing else.
Okay. Interesting.
So, at the same time, like, I don't know where she's getting that I'm making her uncomfortable. After August, we never really interacted because that was like the last interaction her and I had. So with that said, I kind of like took it upon myself to kind of like ask myself like, is this that HR conversations that they wanted to have with me? Is that why? Because they never specified it. They should have specified it, but they never did. Not even the record of conversation documents that I have in my archives. But a few days passed, not even maybe a week, because within that same week they talked to me again because but this is all within the same week too. So they talked to me again because a supervisor thought I was going through her work emails. She thought I was going through her work emails and her confidential shit
How?
on
On a work
like
computer?
it's a shared office computer for the staff, like the supervisors and stuff. Normally every morning for what they call stand up, or like which is the morning meeting to know where everyone's going to be positioned at and everything. They normally have a slideshow. So it shows you the staffing, the break times, and it's normally always pulled up on the monitor in the mornings. When I had come in for my 11 to 3 shift that day, it was, I believe, on December 9th, which is the same week.
Pay week?
I noticed that it was, yes. So they had like closed it or something on the computer. They completely closed out of it. So I had opened PowerPoint or tried to open PowerPoint. So I went into Edge and
So
tried
you
opening
went
PowerPoint,
onto the computer for the purpose of
looking up the staffing to see where I was going to be at and
and
who I
that
was going to be with.
is the main and only and consistently usual way that you do that every time you've ever worked there and went
Correct.
to check
That's
that.
usually because they used to do printouts, but they stopped doing them at the time.
And when they did printouts, you used the printout, and then when they went this
Correct.
route, this is the way that you went. So it wasn't something new, different, weird, out of character. This is just standard Avery, and just standard the way it is.
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
And the supervisor comes in. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just trying to pull up the stand-up deck." And she's like, "Well, you could have asked me. You could have asked me." And I'm like, "You were nowhere near me. You were not even in the same vicinity." Mind you, I think it was maybe a couple days, 2 or 3 days later, because the supervisor had written an incident report or like a formal HR complaint.
Against you, or
Mhm.
they just wrote one
HR
for
was
fun.
like, they had done it to say that I was accessing confidential material such as email or anything like that. I kind of like blew up in the HR manager's face a little bit because he's like, yeah, were there any applications open? And I said very harshly, no, there weren't. There was nothing open on the computer. And I opened Edge. I opened the browser because there was absolutely nothing on there. Mind you, per PCI compliance training, people are to sign out of the computer
Yeah, you don't
when
leave the
they
computer
leave
without signing
the
out. You
office or
sign in and
anything
sign
like
out every
that.
time, and you don't give them your password. Nobody gets your password.
Mm-hmm. And it was unlocked. So that's where I'm like, how is this my fault? Like, how is this majority my fault when your supervisor failed to adhere to PCI compliance and log out of the computer like they're supposed to? So the blame isn't entirely on me. It's also on the supervisor who was initially logged in onto the computer, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
By that point, the manager, who honestly I'm not a big fan of, the manager that was on duty that day, I'm not a big fan of him.
I'm sure the feeling is mutual. I'm sure that it's they. No, I mean like I'm sure that they give off a vibe that is put offish.
I think it's more because he's super, and I can honestly say this because obviously you won't see it. Yeah. Cause like the guy doesn't like me. But I see him as, and excuse my language, but I see him as like a narcissistic piece of shit.
How old? Like
And
ish. Are
he's
we
like in
talking
his
like a peer?
he's like early teens. He's a manager in
Okay.
his early 20s
Okay.
of
College graduate?
I think so. Well, he also used to be in the military. He served in the US Army.
Thank you for your service.
But and even then, like, I do thank him for his service, but I don't thank him for being a
Yeah.
manager.
You can be thankful for someone's service and then also think like you're also a big dick. Both can be
Right.
true. You know.
And I think it was more so because like and mind you, and I hear this from all of my former coworkers, because he's very two-faced. He doesn't listen to people when they bring up grievances to him. He brushes them off, claims that he forgets them, and doesn't really do anything to resolve those grievances. If like a pack member's having another issue or anything like that with another person, they won't address it. And with him, I feel like even like managers in general, and him especially, he was breathing down your back every single time. Like the one thing, and I kind of like agree with this with some of my coworkers, like especially on like a low occupancy day, we should be able to sit down for at least maybe 5 minutes. Like for example, in Build-A-Bear, you're constantly stuffing bears, you're constantly doing things around the outlet to make sure it's clean, cleaning up fluff and stuff like that. There's chairs there, and I'm like, why not let, for example, the Build-A-Bear people sit down for like at least a few minutes in between guests, especially if it's super slow. That's like my opinion. Same with the other outlets, especially like you're having to deal with so much crap that you need a breather, especially even after like your break. You should, take that breather for those few minutes. Even in my opinion, if you have to take a 15, take it. In my opinion, because like
you gotta read the actual job description of the title that the role that you accepted employment for, because it'll say like might need to climb ladders up to 12 feet tall, or carry boxes or something weighing up to 50 pounds or 100 pounds, or you have to be able to stand on your feet 6 to 8 hours. If that's in the job description, like the legitimate job description of the title that was accepted by whomever, I could see them getting away with that. Like, yes, would it be nice to like if you're all caught up on all of your responsibilities, the store is in good shape and there's no one there to rest to rest your dogs a minute, rest them toes, rest them feet, whatever. Yeah, of course. As a thoughtful, considerate, like I'm human, you're human, we're all human. Let's look out for each other kind of a thing. But what sucks is that corporations aren't.
Yeah.
And
Because I know. So after that
so that's
situation,
2 times. And wait, okay, let me
correct.
ask you. That person, that guy, was that the one who came in and was like, "Why are you on the computer?" Or like,
No,
you're
it was a recently promoted supervisor.
okay, so that was okay.
Mind you, I've already heard rumors about this, or not rumors about this person, but it was like apparently that new supervisor also made like a 9/11 joke for a kids entertainment event, because they worked mainly within the entertainment portion of the hotel. So because they wanted to make a 9/11 event. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wait, a 9/11 event or 9/11 joke?
I guess they were joking about making an event about 9/11, I guess.
Okay, because I'm like, wait a second here. All right, one's less egregious than the other. True.
So that supervisor had really just, in my opinion, like pushed my buttons a little bit, because like she should have, left it as it is. I had apologized as well and said like, hey, I'm not gonna do it again. Like, you guys just, and I was gonna say like, you guys just need to, get your
You're not
shit
going to
together.
do what again? For you to say I'm not going to
trying-
do this again means you're saying you did what? You copped to something you didn't do? Or you're saying I'll never go on the computer again and you guys can just give me the info that I was seeking out.
That one,
That's
like
what
I
you
won't
mean.
go on the computer again.
Okay, so you didn't cop to something you didn't do. Okay. All right.
And and I get it. Like, they take PCI like seriously and whatnot, but like it's better to not like make it a huge deal if it's like a one-off thing. Especially, like, I get the seriousness for it, I get it, but like it shouldn't, in my opinion, it shouldn't be a huge, like, don't make it a huge big deal. Just have a one-on-one with me and that's it. Like, you don't need to like have 2 people in the same damn room.
If it's their protocol or like they have to, then they have to. I've had to sit in on stuff where there had to be 2 people in the room.
Because
I didn't
then, at least
ask like, is that law? But I mean, there has to
Right.
be witness. Like, couldn't begin the conversation without the second individual there as a witness.
As a
So
witness.
it's a protocol thing. But
Yeah.
you wish you could just, hey, da 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 da. It appeared this way. I don't know. Maybe your intentions were completely pure, and
Right.
all the things. But from here forward, let's go about this way. That's, I think, how I think a manager should approach something like that.
Mm-hmm. Because
And then maybe if they have to make a notation, but like then they say how they handled it, how the interaction went with you, and that that way if you were doing something bad, like which you weren't, then they'd have a reference to go back. But I think that would, the way that I suggested it, I think is what they should have done.
Yeah, because honestly, I just find it funny. I have both of my cats sleeping right now. They're both like over here sleeping, but
Are they snoring?
I wish my one cat that's towards my pillow, he snores a lot. But I worked as normal after that conversation.
And that was in the middle of a workday, that was not at like the end of the night.
Yeah, that was in the middle of the workday. I think that was
Ooh,
probably
rough.
like 15 minutes before like store closing. So that was 15 minutes before the end of the workday.
Could have been worse. Could have been like the beginning.
Yeah, honestly, if it would have been in the beginning, I would have just taken my name tag off, planted it on HR's desk, and would have been like, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
Funny
you don't
enough,
know.
I made a joke to my sister. I'm like, hey, if I go pick up my last paycheck, what if I flip flip the bird towards my manager, and she's like, "You could do that, but that won't be a good look." I'm like, "I know. That's why I'm saying what if." But yet, like that, because that's I guess that's my thing. Like, and that I feel like that's always been me growing up, is that if you mess with me, you're gonna get the same treatment back. That's how I always been. If you treat me like dog shit, yeah. So if my manager treats me some kind of way, he's getting it
You
straight
must like
back.
my story or my reels I post.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't put this everywhere, but I'm gonna put it here.
Because honestly, am I pissed that I got fired? Yes, but will I go back? Hell no.
No.
I enjoyed it because of the kids. I enjoyed it because kids were always like honestly asking me questions. They were trying to, have like fun interactions with me. I still even
magic.
have 2 drawings that 2 kids made for me when I first started within the retail department. So I still have those 2 drawings, and it was for a memorable moment when their parents' car like needed to get jump started. So when they were leaving
Sorry,
to
guys.
go back to their vehicle, they wanted to give me the drawings. So I even asked the parents if I could give both them and the kids a hug. They accepted. Hugs were given, and that's like the end of that like brief, I guess, interaction. I've had multiple different interactions with like snubby people. But I guess going back to that, like obviously after I got talked to HR, it never got brought up again. Flash, like going forward, because this was on, and then December 15th, actually, I got called down to my manager's office, and she's like, "Hey, just wanted to talk to you about your points. You're currently at 16. Do you remember if any of these 3 absences were doctor's appointments or anything?" I'm like, "Not that I remember." And then I checked my like scheduling for appointments. They weren't appointments. And mind you, absences were, if you were absent, if you called in 2 hours before, you had 2 points. So I should have only had 6. I should have only had 6 points by then. So what ended up happening was I signed the form. I tell him like, "Hey, I just won't call in anymore."
But wait a second,
And
Ray, Avery. Obviously, we can't change what already happened, but clearly, they can say, on this day, this day, this day, and we'd be able to see what your schedule was when you're supposed to work. You could go in your phone
right.
and look in your phone history and see when you called HR or the number, and then show like,
Mhm.
this is the time I made the call. Look, see, and then here is your schedule on the same day. Look at the time I'm supposed to start. See, and there's
should
a
have done
bigger
that, but
gap than 2 hours.
I should have
6,
been a bit of
7,
a smart ass
6, 7.
at that point. God, no, Nancy.
You should have, but you should have. I mean, like, you're a smart dude, man. I mean, tech is right there at your disposal. That's next time, right? Next time. But I mean, it's so
Right.
easy. Like, here's my phone. Look at my call log. I called you at this time. I can't fake this. Like, you just pulled me in this room. I do, like, boop, boop, boop. Look at the schedule. Boop. Math. Let's math this together.
And
Jeez.
honestly, I ended up just signing the
I always
form.
I'm such a big like advocate for people, so it's like that's why I'm like, did you cop to something you didn't do? Why did you sign that? Like, because I'm like fisticuffs,
Yeah.
like when you care
And
about people, you care. That's me. So
and that day,
this is me
I
caring
was
about you.
wearing the good thing. I was wearing my Apple Watch that day, so I said, "Siri, start a voice memo." So I recorded everything from the moment I walked in, because I knew, and especially I knew with the last 2 HR talks, I knew they were going to try and dig dirt on me or have dirt on me.
No,
For
at this point,
absolutely
they
no
could just
reason.
fire you anyway, right? Because
Yeah.
they've got 3+ things on you or something, and your
Mhm.
points are all crazy, even though you could have, that it just didn't work out to
Yeah.
math the
So
way
I
that it was
had,
supposed
and
to.
I still even have that audio recording on my phone. Will I release it? Probably not.
So you didn't get fired because you illegally recorded them.
No,
Okay,
they
because I
don't. They
think
don't
what
even know.
Illinois is you have to. I don't know.
Let me check.
Anyway.
Is Illinois a one-party or two-party state?
I don't know. I think it's a some way.
Illinois is not a one-party state for recording. It's an all-party consent state, which means that anyone intending to make an audio or video recording of a conversation must get permission from every person involved. This applies to various forms of communication, including telephone calls, video conferences, and other electronic communications. Well, now I know.
What does that mean for like YouTubers at like amusement parks?
Oof. I made a vlog at Six Flags Great America 3 years ago. I vlogged my trip to the park there. I had no issues. Funny enough, I was scrolling through the video and somebody actually waved to the camera as I was walking by, and another guy did this, and I'm like, wow. And that's the thing. I've been doing YouTube for over 10 years, and it's funny when people kind of give me dirty looks or look at me weird, and I'm like, what? I'm just a dude talking to a camera. What else it to ya? But, and honestly, I've been doing this for a long time. And it's kind of crazy that I've been doing it so long. But after
Thank
I'm
you
like
for your
jumping
service.
around here, thanks. But honestly, after that conversation with my manager, I went back up to my spot, or like wherever I was stationed at. 18th, I was working in the main gift shop though. Mind you, at that time, we finally got our holiday coupon books and our discount. Me being an idiot had accidentally used it twice. I had bought a bottle of pop and Oreos, and I had used the discount, the holiday discount. But when I was buying a first aid kit, I made the mistake of hitting the holiday one by mistake, and it had already processed. So what ended up happening, because I was kind of an idiot. I hadn't mentioned it, and that was my fault. I had gotten called to human resources probably like a few days later, so December 22nd. So they called me in. They're like, "Hey, what were these transactions for on December 18th? You had used the discount 2 times. Like, what's that all about?" So I explained the situation to them regarding the discount. They had asked me what the policy was. Mind you, I was explained the proper procedure for it recently within that same week. They're like, yeah, it's a one-time use. They only explained it to me recently.
There's a paper coupon or just a button on a keypad?
So it's both a button on a keypad and then it's a paper coupon, from what I was told. Apparently, they keep the paper coupon and you, I guess, staple it or give it to like a supervisor at the end of the night, I'm assuming. But I hadn't, and I even like let HR know. I was like, yeah, I hadn't received the coupon book. That's my mistake. I didn't go and get it. I also haven't had time to because I'm not always working. So throughout like the entire conversation, I kind of like I kind of told them like I felt embarrassed by that mistake. And so what happened was they said, yeah, we're gonna open an investigation on this, and then we'll hear back from us later today or tomorrow, or like on your next shift, to know what the outcome was. No later than like 5:30 p.m. was when they called me. They're like, they're like, hey Avery, we're just wanting to call you to let you know that we have decided to terminate your employment immediately. You can recycle your key card and your Agilysys, your login to the register. Was I shocked? Yes. Did I really care?
This was over a phone?
Yes and no. Yes, this was over the phone. I should have recorded it, but I didn't. No, this was when I got home from my shift. Because
a manager didn't even have the cojones to.
They didn't have.
Nelly.
And mind you, I had already applied for unemployment by that time. I had an unemployment claim open. They had suspended it due to the misconduct under. Let me see if I have I don't even have documentation with me. but under statute 602A,
If it's
they had
misconduct, they can
suspended it.
dispute you.
And I had my interview when I was in the city of Chicago, just hanging out with my friend. They're like, "Yeah, do you know any of this?" I explained to them, there's nowhere even explained in the handbook either for those kinds of discounts. There's nowhere within the employee handbook. It talks about theft, like regarding time theft, tickets, all that stuff, but
I think that's
nowhere
probably
does
why
it
the
even
person
state.
asked you if you knew what the policy was for that discount to
'Cause
get
I
you to acknowledge fault.
yeah, and like for me, I even said like I had no malicious intent. I had no intent to defraud the company.
Right.
So what ended up happening was I had to wait a little bit, but they sided with me. So I ended up winning my case and was able to, receive my unemployment benefits, which is good because
From back when you
where the
applied.
hell am Yep. And it's kind of crazy though that they decided that was the last straw. They wanted me to commit something or do something that's going to piss them off just to fire me when I was already, according to them, at 16 points or had other HR investigations towards me. So that's where I'm like, you guys should really.
I think because it's easier to prove that kind of misconduct, like a thefty kind of thing, than trying to dispute, whether I don't think that I think they didn't really have much to stand on, even though you signed that document about your
Yeah.
points, because I think they did what you didn't do, and they got away with just you having signed that thing because you were probably overwhelmed and just wanted to get
Right.
out of that crazy situation and confrontational moment. But I don't think that they could like a forensic, look back on that situation as far as Illinois Department of whatever. They wouldn't.
Because I even had talked to my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, we could sue them." I'm like, "That's not."
That's
gonna
why they
work."
waited. That's why they waited for a different kind of a mistake that was not intentional and not malicious, but it's easier to prove, and then it gives a more rounded appearance that you are a miscreant.
Right, and I even said because I I work with an employment specialist, especially because like this job market's crazy right now. It's bad. I've applied to over 20 jobs in the last year.
My youngest son, is having a really, really hard time as well. And he has like almost open availability, like completely open availability. And he's an Eagle Scout, and that's on his resume, So, I mean, yeah, he's
Right.
got to take, he doesn't have a lot of experience other than working for Portillo's for a time. So I know there's that, but nothing. Like, you couldn't even get hired at Menards.
Right, and it's like I've even applied to like my local Verizon store, and I didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Target, he couldn't get applied to Target to like collect carts or something, or like bring out groceries to people, or
Funny enough, so back in early December,
Walmart, nothing.
it's hard. Even with Sam's Club too. I tried Sam's Club for their customer service, like lead position and the membership, position as well. And they flat out like maybe not even a few hours later, not even a few hours, like a couple days later, they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we're not moving forward with your application." I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me." Because I am
Not sponsored.
really.
Where'd you go?
We probably lost her.
Oh no. I must have. Did I get frozen? Am I frozen? I don't know what's going on here. You're frozen though. I'm gonna take a picture.
Yep. So we lost her, everybody.
Aren't we cute? Where are you?
Oh, I lost you for a little bit. Oh. there she goes. Nancy has been lost. Everybody, pay your condolences. She'll be back in a little bit. So, let me see. I think she'll be back in a second. So, with what happened pertaining to Great Wolf, I don't know. Do I regret working there at the same time? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. I enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed my tenure there. Go in here. And there's a White Castle vending machine. That is crazy. I currently am on Facebook right now. All right. Ugh.
Where'd you go, man?
I lost you for a little bit.
Now who froze? What was that? Because like
I think so. You froze on
You
my
looked froze.
end. I don't know if I
You
froze on
froze on
your
my
end as
end.
well.
I gotta show you.
So I think it's more like tit for tat per se.
See, you were frozen. You were frozen like that. Look at that.
I mean, you were still moving around, right? So you were able to
Yeah.
see yourself
So
on your
that's
screen,
look at
though.
you with your pose, like you're like glamour shots by Deb. And I'm just like, blah, I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture of this. I'm like, oh look, aren't we so cute? That should be like, we should put that up.
We should put that up.
I'll
as,
send it
like-
to you. But I was like, I'm
Alright.
gonna document this because, like, what? Yeah, because that's
I
what
think that's never happened before.
This is my first one, and then I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I need to get my smile in there. We'll pose together. Pod besties. So, okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
But so essentially after I got let go, I just kept looking for jobs that I
Well, you
find
just
any
didn't
new
do that.
ones.
You just didn't do that.
I did, but I didn't find anything new. And within the same, so like 2 or 3, technically like 3 days before I got fired, I had an interview with an Illinois state senator. So that's already already available to stream and everything on the podcast. That's already available. And it's kind of
You froze, but I probably froze on your end. I bet my internet sucks. Yeah. Shoot,
it
when
is
should I even get a
Nancy, the
hotspot?
frozen
I don't know how it
Nancy.
works.
This isn't good. Here, let me.
Or hotspot.
Oh no, I took a picture
Mobile
of my.
data. I don't know. Mobile hotspot.
No. All right. All right. So while we wait for Nancy to join back, I don't know what's going on today in today's show, but jeez, this isn't good. Yeah, and I lost her too. That's gonna okay. So all right. So at least per what we were just talking about in terms of my previous employment with Great Wolf, am I obviously gonna go back? Well, no, I can't. I physically cannot return back there to work. But does that open the door for me career wise? Yes. Does it make it harder? Yes, it does. Also, shout out College of Lake County. One of the best community colleges that there is. I am a former student of College of Lake County, but I dropped out. I am a college dropout. Let's see. Let me get that last yawn in. Let's see. Did I click it? Yes, I did. No, my headphones are. Let's see.
I don't know. Oh, trying to reconnect. No.
I think you're there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Actual recording.
Yep, you're there.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Well,
I tried taking a picture.
did you?
I tried, yeah.
With your face covered
I
by your
failed.
name?
No, I tried, but after you disappeared on the screen, I was only able to get a shot of my actual screen from the recording.
Lift it up higher. Your name is covered. Oh, okay.
So I didn't get the nice shot like that you got.
Years of experience, I guess.
But so far, at least, honestly, with what happened, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise though, because I can pursue more of I can pursue the podcast full time. I can do a lot of my radio show full time as well. I can pursue all that more up until like April when I go work at the theme park.
Well, and
When I go back work there, I
you
go
gotta
good.
you gotta change, like, move your name or something like that, because it's like totally blocking your face. I can't see you.
Here, let me.
But I think yeah, I can't. I mean, that's better. I can see your face. I think I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah. Wow. That was a crazy story.
It's insane. I remember probably sometime in early December. I remember I had a guest come in. Mind you, she comes in, lady's got a full like Christian Dior bag and everything, dressed up all nice and whatnot. Her kids are wearing like Ralph Lauren and
Was that
whatnot.
a politician?
Nah, it was some like Middle Eastern woman, I think. She was probably like Middle Eastern.
No, but I mean, like,
And just
what type of interview was it? Or what type of...
oh no, this was like when I was still at Great Wolf.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I don't know where I'm going.
No, it's all good. But she comes in. I'm working at the Magic Quest store. She comes in complaining, I guess, that her kid couldn't use the wand to cast at the effects. And I told her, ma'am, unfortunately, we can't replace the wand unless it is like truly defective. Like if it's actually not working, not responding to the sensors, batteries are like tripping out and not working, then we could replace
Is
it
the kid
if
just
we've
too
made
young?
several attempts. The kid was probably like 12 to 13 years old, but the mom came in hot and she starts like speaking to me in a tone that I don't really appreciate within customer service. And I told her, ma'am, please do not speak to me that way. I am trying to, I'm trying to calmly resolve this for you. And then she gets more bent out of shape just because I told her, do not speak to me that way. Because I'm only trying to make sure I'm resolving the issue for her, but in a calm manner, not in a way where I'm like shouting back at her or anything like that. Should I have said that? Probably not. As per my coworkers, they even said like, yeah, you shouldn't have said that. I'm like, I know, but like I'm in my opinion, I'm tired of dealing with people that think they can just come in hot and verbally assault staff.
I see.
But sorry.
No, go ahead.
Good.
I mean,
I was gonna say, but in the end, the supervisor on duty that they gave them a free one. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This place caters to guests all the time. They don't have limits. So if you claim that your room has bed bugs in it, they do the investigation and they comp you a free night. Like, what the heck?
so
Like, they
wow.
give people free shit all the time.
Yeah. When things happen to, like, when I experience like situations from like a guest point of view, and then I have to go speak to like a customer service personnel or a supervisor or manager, whatever, and then they try and like give me something like extra, like I'm like, oh no, I just want like what I paid for to work. I just want to be made
Right.
whole again, or I just want, like your obligation to be fulfilled. Like, I don't want extra stuff. I don't want this for free. I mean, like, and sometimes like there'll be people like in line behind me or whatever, like this lady's crazy, turning down, a free this or a, comp that. And I mean, like, sometimes I've taken it because they're like, that's how we do this. And so there's like no arguing about it. But
Right.
I don't get that. Some people just have that mentality where like you inconvenienced me and now like I'm entitled to
I
something I'm
mean,
not.
when I used to work at a guest, like at a like almost like a guest relations position at like a theme park, I feel like, I mean, I've dealt with those kinds of situations where I had to compensate for certain situations. I remember a guest could not use, I guess, their like dining at the time that the park had like announced or like switched on, I guess. Apparently they were sold the wrong one, so I had to like say I because I didn't know the situation at hand, so I said, unfortunately I can't give you what you're asking. But until they explained to me and I'm like what happened, that they were sold the wrong one, I'm like, okay. So what I can do is I can refund you for this product. And I think what ended up happening is that they gave them a comp season meal dining, which is the 2 meal that they sold. Because that's what they were supposed to have. So that's what they were supposed to have. So what me and another coworker did is we also kind of thought together and we're like, should we just, give them a meal voucher because it won't work on their pass. The new dining won't work on the pass until the next time they come in, I think.
Yeah, you should.
At least I think because they had the one dining, so that's what we did. We gave her a meal voucher. I'm like, okay, we'll give you this, and she was satisfied. She was completely satisfied by it. And mind you, I will say this, and I'm going to point this out. What I am saying here tonight on this episode does not represent Great Wolf Lodge or that theme park. My opinions are my own
Any theme park.
and
None
do
of them.
not reflect the positions of those brands. The stuff that I say are my own and solely my opinion.
Me too. Me too.
All opinions go through me or LJ Entertainment Media, so do with that what you will.
Ditto. What he said.
I've had, but essentially with that, the one thing I don't like though is when people that I know that I work for a specific theme park chain use my name. I don't like that. I've had, even at Great Wolf, I've had a lady that I was friends with use my name to get my employee discount.
Would you
I'm like, no,
rather
you don't.
them be screaming your name?
No, it's like I think it's like they have the rule, and I know at Great Wolf they had this rule, like, yeah, the person has to be with you in order to get the discount. But I apologize to the coworker of mine that I'm good friends with. I apologize to him, like, hey, I'm sorry that she like snapped at you or gave you a hard time. That's not what she's supposed to do, because she's not entitled to the discount unless I am physically there with her. Same when I like, if people have like grievances or issues at like customer service or whatever, don't mention my name. I know I may work wherever, like wherever this was, but don't use my name. I'm not
That's
like
so weird.
It's
The
weird
only
because
time
like
I ever would mention anybody's name is if like I like that employee was part of the situation, so they can attest to what happened. They can better explain what I'm trying to explain, but in the lingo of the corporate, that they would understand better from one employee to the other to kind of,
Mhm.
express what happened or didn't happen.
Right.
Or to
And
say, hey, like, they gave me exemplary customer service and went above and beyond. Like, I've written down
right.
people's names for that. So that's the only time I ever reference anybody. But just to be like, oh, yeah, I know, like, Jimmy Jangler, he works here. Like, so you should treat me different. Like, what?
Yeah, no, like you're not like, just because you know somebody that works there, you're not gonna get preferential service. You're not gonna be treated differently just because you know this person.
I don't think
For
I'm
me,
special.
like for
I
me,
know a lot
when
of people
I
think I'm special.
when I've had my mom and my sister come visit me at that theme park, like sure I would like say hi and interact with them, but if they wanted to like use my discount or anything, because they had passes to that place, so I told them, I was like, just use the pass. You just use your passes, because I don't know, because obviously I don't know what stipulations there are with that. Because if I'm not working, I can use it, but if I am working, then I don't know what the whole
I've had
stipulation with
people.
is.
No, I think the thing is on when you're on days you're supposed to work, you're not supposed to use your employee card to gain access to the park.
Correct.
Yeah, and I've had people ask me like, "Oh, like blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Well, I am I have a membership, and I use my membership
Right.
to gain entry. Like I."
When I
But people have asked me to try
used to
and like
work,
put me in some corner or something like that. Like that's such a weird question to ask. Like,
yeah,
why do you need to know exactly how I got in? Like, I got in legally and I did it the right way, and I used my membership that I pay for as a personal guest. Oh, so weird. Anyway,
because I know when I used to, I think it's the it sucks. It defaulted to but essentially with that, when I used to work the ticketing booth or like the front gate to the park, I remember I scanned people's badges and it'd be like,
we shouldn't talk about stuff. We're not supposed
oh
to
yeah,
talk about how the sausage is made. Anything.
oops, my bad.
Yeah. Any person.
What was your overall experience though? Like having with working there. I obviously won't say who who you portrayed or anything like that. That I'll keep under wraps. But like, what was it like for you to work there during like the fall stuff?
Amazing, awesome, crazy, totally different. More than I could even expect. My humility and gratitude meters,
Mhm.
I thought I had a pretty good, healthy ability to, be appreciative and humble and all of that. And that expanded like tenfold or more with just that opportunity. It was intense. It in all the ways. I mean, good and otherwise. I'll do it again. I'd love to do it again. I don't regret it at all. I had a lot of fun,
Mm.
and I would definitely love to continue. So yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah,
It was it was
it's a
weird.
lot of
It
fun.
was weird.
I visited the park not too long ago with a friend of mine, with like my old coworker from Great Wolf. We visited like when it was I think
Did you have fun?
peak like right that
You
season.
have fun?
It, oh, I had
You a
fun.
coaster person?
Oh,
Cool.
yeah.
Was
I
Criminy Doodles, was the one coaster finished being painted? No, you went at the height, so
oh
maybe
yeah,
it got done just a little bit before that. Okay, cool beans.
I think so. It was done by that. The paint job looked
Isn't it?
phenomenal
Yeah,
on
beautiful,
it.
right? Oh my gosh. And when they
I
showed it
know.
pictures, like, like before and after painting, you were just like,
Yeah,
oh, hot dog. Like you didn't realize how
I
faded it
know.
had gotten.
Yeah, over the years. I mean, the thing's been around since the late 90s too. So this was like
I know it came out.
crazy.
I was nearing the end of my high school career. I don't think you were born yet.
No, I was just a thought.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And
But
yeah, no, I graduated high school in 98. So yeah, that Southwest Territory was like pretty done by then. They had
yeah,
Viper by then, or like very soon after, right around then,
I know.
and Giant Drop.
And this is from what I've seen on social media, just at least recently. With the park celebrating its 50th anniversary, they're planning on doing so much. So like limited edition merch,
Isn't that
the
exciting?
brick. Um, well,
I'm
I'm ready for that. I'm
so
stoked.
I am so excited. Like as just someone, I've been going since I was a baby. My dad, like my parents had gone before I was, but like when the park first opened and before I was born.
Mhm.
So like this, and I spent like I like I was raised there. Like I spent summers there. I mean, crazy. So I've got sometime I'm gonna do a collage of pictures of when I was little with like Bugs Bunny and Tweety Bird and like all of the crazy licensed ones, Foghorn Leghorn. And yeah.
Apparently, I think this was probably like during like the early days of the park when it was still under Marriott.
Mhm.
Like I remember, and I don't know, I think that this has to be a fever, like not like a fever dream or something. But I remember having seen a video that talked about the park
Mhm.
and that apparently it had
Are you gonna say it?
Foghorn, I guess, show like at the what at the time was considered normal, which was like the, I guess, old like Confederate flag at the time. But he was, but this was, I think this was during like a normal like American themed like song. I don't remember what it was. I think this
You are we talking about the park or like the cartoon character in a cartoon?
just a,
Like as an
I think
aside?
the,
'Cause I don't
I think it was more so like the cartoon
okay.
character, I guess, like
So we're not
the
talking about
mascot
at the
itself.
park. Okay. Yeah, because we wanna stay, like, on topic a little bit, probably.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No, I thought you were gonna say something like the dolphin show. I've been to the dolphin show at Great America.
I remember I've seen videos from the old commercials.
Yeah, and they had the concrete steps. That was your seating.
They did?
Yeah. And it went down, and it was like this deep pool, and that's where the dolphins would do their jump, like, and go through the hoops and touch the thingy and all that stuff. And then when they stopped doing that, then that's where they did like cheerleader pom dancey stuff for a while, I think, until they put it in like its own big building. But yeah, so
This is a commercial from 1980.
Brace yourself. We're going to take you on freedom.
Steven, no, take a Tylenol first. Sorry,
There's like a bunch of different
you got that right. You
commercials
got
that
what
I've
I meant.
seen.
Like you know how like
Yeah, from like the corkscrew, especially
and
your
it's like let's
head's
do that
banging
again.
around the
Like oh no,
corkscrew.
you need a break. You got to pace
No,
yourself.
yeah.
That one's too
The
rough to do
one
2 times in a row.
documentary, the one documentary I've seen was the Screams and Dreams documentary. I've seen that in its entirety.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people have so many different commercials for the park. This was 1987. Oh,
Wah,
what do you
wah.
mean you're processing the video? Check back later. What do you mean YouTube? This was from 1980,
Ooh,
82.
Z-Force. That was my first. What? No, my first one was. I don't know. It went like this. The wave, tidal wave. Let's see this one.
Ultimate force.
And you know they used that in the plant haunted house bunch of years ago.
They did?
Yeah, like that thing back when it was like scientists got turned into plant zombie people. Do you remember where Saw X is now?
Yes.
Yeah, like in there where it used to be the plant thing. That like if you forwarded that video just a little bit where that one scientist guy is like at that like big computery countertop thing, like I've seen that used like as prop.
This?
Yeah, as prop like during like like for Fright Fest in the past. I mean, maybe
Mhm.
it's something else that just looks like it and it's not actually that one. But like what I've noticed is sometimes when they're doing a non-IP like haunt like over the years, like and they've utilized things that used to be part of the park in a different capacity, in a different way, and they've repurposed it to create this environment and this scene for, you know, a whole different thing, Fright Fest, you know, I love it. I think I love the creativity of that. I love like looking around like the estate at Wretched Meadows, that haunted house. I know we're kind of going back to Fright Fest.
They didn't have it this year, actually. They didn't have it this year, I don't think.
Yeah, they did. They did.
They did?
Yeah, they did. And it was one of the favorites. I think a lot of people on social media were saying as I was reading as another social media participant reader, that like they love the Estate of Wretched Meadows and also Shucky Doodles at Conjuring.
That one, I know.
Those were the
Hopefully
top
that
two
one makes a
favorites, like
comeback.
people were saying their favorites were. And what I love about the Estate of Wretched Meadows, or exactly however you know it's called, I'm probably butchering it just because my brain is forever permanently little scrambled, but it's so detailed. Like every room, I am one of those people that like I don't stay with I end up not staying with the group. I'm like I'm last. I'm like, please go in front of me. Please go in front of me. Please go in front of me, because if I'm first, you're gonna hate me. Because I like to go slow. I like to look around. Like I like to just really just like, I don't know, immerse myself. And
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, that was a tangent, but yeah, that computery thing and just seeing like what, how theme parks and just the ability for people to get creative and repurpose anything that is no longer serving the purpose for which it was made, I think is pretty cool.
Because
And
I
that could go with
know
anything.
Six Flags, so Six Flags Great America opened its doors May 29th of 76. It was under the ownership of the Marriott Corporation up until 1984, when Six Flags, I think then owned by Six Flags, had a parent company. I don't remember what the name was. I think Valley something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was called.
I saw recently that a video of that trolley, the tram, that would like take you like from the back parking lot up to the front of the park, the way that it used to be. I just saw that on social media somewhere. I'm not going to name where exactly, but
They have to bring it back.
I was like,
with how it was before, because the way they had it back in the early days of the park, I feel like they should have that as a form of transportation throughout the park, in my opinion, and not do it for parades as much.
yeah. Well, the trolley in that video clip that I saw was like a vehicle with like rubber wheels. The trolley inside the park is actually like a train trolley that has that track in the ground, like in the asphalt. But the video that I'm referring to take that, like the trolley takes you from like the back parking lot, is like an actual like a little vehicle, like a little mini pace.
You have to send that to me,
okay,
after the show, because I have to kind of see what it is.
I will.
And I know, like, I visited the Great America Park back in 2009 when I was just 4 years old. Do I remember a majority of it? I only remember two things from it. I only remember the Wiggles themed area and then my mom getting injured at Hurricane Harbor.
No.
I think she like scraped her finger or something like that, but that's it.
Yeah, bummer.
I've been visiting since 2009, not consecutively, but the last time I ever visited the park was in 2014. And then once I started working there, that's when I was able to, visit the park as I pleased.
Let's see, in 2009, my kids were 3 and 6. We had memberships or season passes, whatever they had, and I lived about 10 minutes away from the park, and they would wear their swim shirts, their quick dry swim shirts, their like board short swim trunks, and then Crocs. And then I had this like a little wagon that was made out of like blow mold plastic. It was like the Red Wagon brand, but they had made it like plastic version of it, blow mold, so you could take the sides down and like pack it away, and I would keep it in my trunk of my car. So we'd get there, I'd lay the blanket or 2 towels down, and then build the thing, and then the kids would get in with their reusable water bottles, and they had their hats, and we would go in the park, and we would start off like to the right side back. They kind of tore down like a little kid area, like where they had the little kid trains. You remember like the little trains?
What was it?
It's where they
Like
had
the Bugs
the
Bunny
go-karts.
National Park?
The go-karts.
It was the Bugs Bunny National Park.
Yeah, and they had, I think, it was the airplanes or something too, like, going up and down. They had the little trains, the train, and they had, one or two other things in there, and we would, do that little loop there, and then like make our way back, and then we would do Wiggle World, and we would do the strawberry like thing.
The
And then let's see what was next. So we would come in a little bit more, and then the kids would play in the water and the
yeah.
water park thing, and that's where they had their water gear on, their swim shirt and their water shoes and everything, and then the towels, and then we would go on the rest of the rides all the way around, and then just the Cartoon Network.
I remember, I think 2009 was the year that Buccaneer Battle opened as well. Or was it 2009 and 2010? Probably like a year off.
It was ish, yeah.
But I remember when I went in 2014, they had those like big like dryer machines where you could walk in and it would like dry like all like the moisture and stuff like that. And I enjoyed that. That was actually a good thing because then you don't have to sit and like dry with a towel the entire time.
Yeah.
Especially after like Buccaneer Battle.
I'm sure somebody abused it and then they got rid of it.
Probably.
Like all things, right?
Considering when I think so, the rides that I remember for Wiggles World were the fruit salad one, and then
Is that the cage one?
Big Red Plains.
That's the fruit
yeah.
cage. Okay. There's the
And then there's Big Red Cars, the Captain Feathersword ship, the Wags the Dog Bouncer, whatever, and
You're
then Dorothy's
cheating, aren't you? You're looking at a
Teacups.
screen.
No, and I remember here. Let me show you what I've got pulled up.
I
'Cause
have
this
a
is
video.
all I've got on my screen.
So, there was a time when my kids were so little where an adult had to ride with them on the airplanes, on the Wiggle World airplane. And so you'd have to go on with them. And I have a video of riding it at night. They were open at night.
Ooh.
Yeah. And also Cartoon Network. I have some evening footage. So things are not like this past year, at least, like when they closed
They're
so
not
early.
the same as they was before.
Like when those areas were only open during sunlight hours, that wasn't always the case. But I don't know
I
the
remember
rhyme or the
with,
reason why. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is
'Cause I
physically
remember-
went.
Because I never heard of that happening, at least within like some of the kids' areas. Not even in like
I got a video of it.
Kidsopolis.
It was really
or
cool riding the airplane at night, and you see Johnny Rockets around the corner, and it's just like it was like a nice, clear evening, beautiful weather. Excuse me.
I remember when I was this was in 2014 when my family and we went to what is now known Kidsopolis, but I rode the Zoom Jets, essentially the Big Red Planes, but like rebranded.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're called now. I mean, I even remember back when they had the Wiggle stage and they would have shows and they had all those chairs, like the stadium seating.
Yeah.
For sitting for the Wiggle shows. Yeah, and
I know now
were in
they
some of those
stopped
shows.
using it.
Yeah.
I know they stopped. They used to use it for like the meet and greets for like the characters, but they stopped doing that now, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I know they had obviously they had the Wiggles World, they had Buccaneer Battle. Cuz I know for a fact 2009 was the last season you could go to the Wiggles World prior to 2010, cuz then that's when they got rid of it.
I don't know what it was called, but I remember when I was little, they had this big like house place, and it had a you're like there would be like rope bridges and funny glass paint, like funny mirrors, and
Right.
a super giant ball pit, which is totally like I guess gross now. Like ball pits
I
are not
feel
a
like
thing
people
anymore.
think yeah, like Chuck E. Cheese. I know used to have ball pits during the Pizza
I
Time
love ball
theater
pits.
days. I've never personally seen any ball pits nowadays. I mean, growing up within the like early 2010s, I feel like those weren't a thing anymore.
Yeah. Well, in the 90s there was another thing too that was it was kind of like McDonald's would have like the tubes and tunnels, but it was like
The
yeah, they had play places that the whole place was tubes and tunnels and slides and that whole thing. Like nowadays it's like the jump and wall climbing places is the thing for younger kids.
Mhm.
And but back then, I mean, this was like a freaking warehouse full of tubes and tunnels. I like that meme that says like if I won the lottery, I wouldn't say anything, but there would be clues.
Yep.
Like I would have a house full of ball pit rooms and like tunnels and tubes that were giant and did not smell like stinky socks or pee at all. So, but
I remember a story actually
oh
of
no.
when my mom used to work for McDonald's. She and a coworker had to go clean the play place.
Okay, no, don't
And
tell
it
me don't tell me
smelled
anymore. I
like
have a bad my stomach is not right.
no, you're good.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. No.
No, I won't finish it.
Yeah, no, no, no. You got to write that one down and save it for another time. But yeah.
I feel
Mm.
like play areas in general are just like germs, just pure germs in general.
Yeah, that's why I just want to win the lottery and they can just be my germs.
Yep. And even then, like for example, like if you build your own like little like tower, like play fort tower thing in the swings, that's like you and like your kids' germs. That's like you guys. But like if you're going to a place where it's like a play area or anything like that, you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Well, that's true. But also,
Audio wise, I lost you.
better?
What was that?
You hear me now?
Yeah, there it
You hear
is.
me now?
Yeah. Yeah. I totally forgot that was what, Sprint, or was that Verizon originally?
I don't know. All I know is I had too many gummy bears and I'm starting to get sick. Which means
Gummy
we're
bears though, you
gonna have to
can
cut
never.
it. I gotta go.
All right.
'Cause I'm
Well, honestly, what I want to show, obviously you can obviously see my studio or like bedroom is completely different.
yes,
But that's
yes,
because
tell
my
us.
family and I moved back in November. We moved into this new house in November 14th. So we've been here almost 2 months. I ended up taking the master bedroom just based off of my like desk, my bed, and then my dresser. I take up a lot of space. But now I actually have windows, so I have natural lighting coming in, but I have a big enough space so that way I can obviously record the podcast and I don't have to have also another light propped up here like how I used to do back in the old basement that I had. It worked as like a studio, but like it was too spacious. It was too much space for me. I made it into like a family room / office area, but like still it was way too much space. But that is going to conclude our show for tonight. We'll do more. I will be doing an exclusive interview coming probably within the next couple weeks, if not going into early March, since I will be visiting Mexico for about a month. I will be interviewing actually a family member who is doing a racing competition. So look out for that. I'm not sure when the definitive release date would be, but definitely look out for it. It would probably be in Spanish, just based off the language and things like that. So I'm going to work with somebody to actually do like translated captions and stuff like that to translate it. Nancy, do you have any parting words or anything, or any like
Thanks for putting up
upcoming
with me.
projects? Well, thank you all so much for tuning in with Nancy and I tonight for this. Honestly, what would I call it? Like witty banter hour. Oh, that would be a decent name. Her and I are gonna work on some new topics for the show. You and I definitely want to work on more of like true crime and stuff later
Totally.
on. But again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah. Pasta pasta.